Welcome to the third and final edition of the Naperville Fire Department Cadet Program videocast down here in Champaign, Illinois at the University of Illinois, Illinois Fire Service Institute Cadet Explorer Hands on Training Weekend. Today's sponsor, we would like to thank Retired Lieutenant Steve Bourne for providing the Culver's lunch for our ride home. Thank you, Lieutenant. Greatly appreciate it. I know the kids, when they were told that you're doing that for them, were just ecstatic. So again, Lieutenant Steve Bourne, thank you so much for sponsoring our lunch for the ride home. Today I have someone who probably should have been on here a long time ago doing my job, Danny Puknaitis. He's been my partner in crime over the past, four
score and
while. This program couldn't be what it is today without him, especially this past year. Since I was out on injury, it was him doing it alone for 9 months, mostly alone. We had Anthony Joaquin helping, but Danny spearheaded the trainings, so I just want to thank you for that. Even though that couldn't be there. Huge shoes to fill, and you came pretty darn close. So
10 and a half.
10 and a half. Got 11 halves. So, again, today let's do a little quick recap of the weekend down here. Personally, I was a little nervous. Skill level of the kids, would they meet our expectations? And after the first day, I was blown out of the water. Like, I thought they did so well. What do you think?
I agree. I think recap of almost a year, we were struggling at the probably for 3/4 of this year. The last handful of meetings, we kind of started getting it together, but really didn't feel that confident coming down here in comparison to our previous years when we've come down here. But then when we started doing the evolutions and with the leadership of our lieutenants and our captains, definitely spearheading the way, the rest of the younger cadets all followed suit and crushed it. I mean, we've heard from multiple instructors that their fundamentals are solid, which is exactly what we're shooting for. We just want to build a strong foundation for these guys to always build up upon it and to fall back on their fundamentals of all the basic operations that you see in a fire academy.
Yeah, I felt like every station we went to, it was a broken record from the instructors. Like, this is the best group we've had all weekend, best force lunch. I could tell you guys move hose all the time. It was very refreshing to see that every instructor was like blown out of the water.
And we even challenged ourselves with a captain and a lieutenant of the post was like, hey, let's do a 2-man company with moving to 2.5. And the look on the instructor faces were like,
are you sure?
Not really in the cards, but let's see how you do. And they crushed it, and they moved it. They were saying like as easy as 1 3/4. That's basically what it looked like in terms of how they were moving it, in terms of smoothness. So really, really good.
Yeah,
really good.
I think years past, you see like the energy level just tank. From Thursday, especially today, Sunday, is like the kids usually sleeping in and dragging. I felt this weekend that the energy level remained high. I don't see anybody really dragging.
I mean, they're exhausted. They're dead.
Oh yeah, they are. They work. They bust their butts. But I felt everyone performed well. No one was really complaining. I think it's usually when you get tired, attitudes flare up, and not this year. They did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, and I think the other big thing on this weekend
we got something right in the middle here.
What is this? Oh, state champs! We're state champs!
Yeah, last night water ball. Finally, after how many years, we first of all beat Addison. That was key.
Yep.
That was victory #1. Then we beat the reigning state champs, Springfield, and now we're state champs. So nice job, Aiden, Austin, Owen, and Avery on winning water ball last night. That was amazing.
Team cross streams.
Cross streams. Bringing the trophy to Naperville. So now on the heels of this victory, what do we got planned?
There's still some silly string, some confetti on here. It was a great celebration. We let everybody know here down at IFSI how we do it. We do it right. We celebrate hard. So it was a good win.
Yeah.
It's a great win.
Looking forward to the parade once we get back home.
Yeah. Led by Car 47, of course, in the front.
Yeah, because you're not doing anything else.
Yo, easy. Most important vehicle in the city.
So what else? What else we got to talk about on reflection on this weekend?
I think the camaraderie is always a great topic to bring up. I think we were close as a post. In years past, I always thought we were actually closer. But I would say, especially after this weekend, the bond that has been formed from these cadets is probably one of the highest that I've seen from the post.
Yeah.
They've really, like, the best way to describe it, even in terms of a graph, is they were kind of like, here's slow incline, and then when they got down here at IFSI, they literally just straight up, instead of kind of in years past, we've climbed and then we've kind of hovered up here when we've gotten down in IFSI. So they've just crushed it. They've loved being around each other, just being goofy, making memories and bonding. And I think that's essential to kind of like what the fire service is. You're grinding in these burn buildings, you're hot, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're doing a lot of labor intensive work. And when you do that together and you work as a team and you eat together, you sleep together, you grind together, you build those memories through almost blood, sweat, and tears, especially blood, and with a couple injuries, you always get little injuries, that happens. But they come out on top and they build lifelong friendships from this, which is really special, and it makes the weekend even more fun.
All right, from this weekend, outside of the water ball championship, what's your outstanding memory?
Oh, wow! Outside of this,
Outside of the championship,
I would say just some of the evolutions where they've truly crushed it. As an advisor, I don't want to be a part of the crew or the company. I like to be a ghost on the inside and actually like see and critique. But when we get our cadets to the point where they're fully functioning and accomplishing the task successfully, then I don't need to be a ghost anymore. And for me, that's when I like to transition and I say, awesome, you guys are crushing it. Let me be now part of your company. Like, either be the officer, let me be the nozzle man, let me be a tool guy, whatever you need. Now I can jump in. And I think that's almost like fuel to the fire for them, because you have me, who's a little bit older than them, rocking and rolling, bringing the energy, moving fast with a purpose. And I can only do that when I know that they are successful at their tasks and at their job. And now we can truly just have fun, knowing that we're going to be successful in these tasks, and it's not so much critiquing and yelling and, you guys did this wrong, get better. It's like, dude, we're just out there having fun, training and making training fun, which is what it should be,
Yeah, and I think that's one of my biggest takeaways from this weekend is, like, on Tuesday nights when we trained, it's purely us instructing, really.
Yep.
And then coming down here, having instructors where we don't necessarily need to teach, we can join in, and I know that they absolutely love when we are on the company with them.
Oh yeah.
Because with like Austin and Alex, and I'm jumping in as a truck boss and going in and doing the work with them, you can see their eyes light up, and we change the tempo and show them what a real tempo of a truck company and doing a primary search or forcible entry should be like, and then that brings up their level, their sense of urgency, and like, oh, this is what we got to do, and I don't want to let any advisors down, so I got to work harder, and just adds that extra level of training, and then I think they stop second guessing themselves, because again, that trust factor, having us and part of their company, they just love it.
Yeah.
So I just, again, jumping in on the truck and doing all those searches with them, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, I think one almost like learning point actually for me was yesterday. I saw they were getting tired and exhausted. It was our last drill, so I actually pumped them up too much. I gave them too much hype. And I think we all learned from that, because they were so excited and they were moving super fast, and there's always learning moments in all of this. Is they forced the door, they crushed it. It was a screw and glue forcible entry prop, and they were supposed to go upstairs to the second floor, but because they were just so excited, right, they missed the stairs, which were 10 feet inside the door, and they just started moving to the right, and they kind of delayed their whole operation. So I think we also learned from that in saying, yes, it's good to have fun, but kind of staying even keel is where you get that smooth as fast as smooth, like you're cruising with it. So good learning point there is like, hey, get excited to be here, but don't get so excited where you are a bull in a china shop. Like, be methodical. You've been here before and have some experience, and crush it out of the water.
Yeah, I think that's a great learning lesson because that's real life. We don't get structure fighters a lot, and when we do get, yes, we're going, let's do this, and then you lose that fine motor skills, you get tunnel vision, and you don't see the broad picture. And I think it's exactly what happened. So for them to learn it like right now, say, hey, let's get amped, but stay calm, amped, let's accomplish the mission at hand. That's huge. And that was probably my favorite drill of the weekend, I think, because I came in, I think again I was with Alex and Austin, and screw, Alex had that prop forced in like 2 swings, and we were in, and we did a primer of the first floor. Andrew comes behind us, knocks the fighter a little bit, and then they're waiting for us to force entry to the door for the stairs. And so it's a 4x4, and we have to chip away. That I know for a fact they've never done it before. And so to teach them the technique super quick, show them the technique real quick, and get through that 4x4, and then make the stairs to the second floor. And we did it, and instructors, and of course brag to you because they said we did way better than your group did. And so that was for me was the drill of the weekend. I think learning experiences from 2 different types of getting too amped up, and then just actually accomplishing everything in a timely manner was awesome.
I agree.
And I learn a lot out of this. I know they do, but I learn just as much. Honing in my skills as an officer, an acting officer on the job with super green people, so I have to work on communication, literally saying exactly what we want to them, and if they don't do it, maybe make sure my communication is clear and received and have them communicate back to me. So I get as much out of this weekend as they do. And I look across, and see other Explorer posts, and I'm going to call them out right here, is other advisors don't even bring their gear down here, which blows my mind. I know it blows your mind too. Is how can you let your kids go in a burning building without eyes on them? I had this conversation with Roger Van from Madison. It's in their policy that they're going to ideal edge atmosphere, advisors will go in, and that's the same for us. Not only do I want to go have fun, because I love going to these trainings, but I want to watch my kids and have this extra eyes for safety. And it's frustrating for, I know, both of us to see other advisors sitting there in shorts and hey dudes and not even doing anything, being water boys. And I think that's ridiculous, and it shouldn't happen.
And I think that just goes back to the core principles of just what we teach this with our cadets, of like setting the example. Like, I know from a leadership point of view, if I'm inside moving hose with them, getting down and dirty, and I come out and I'm drenched in sweat, I'm huffing and puffing, I'm hot because the building was just hot. Now if I go to teach them or give them critiques, they look at me differently because they're just like, you were in there with me, you get it, compared to me being on the outside critiquing them and potentially having them run through their head, their thought process of, dude, you weren't even in there, you don't even know. Like, you can't do what I was just doing. Like, it's like, no, get down and dirty with them, and that's where your leadership and your influence comes from when you're in the crap with them, when you're in the trenches. Like, that's where it's fun.
Yeah, I know. We're raising the next generation of firefighter. Hopefully, in a couple of years, they will be our coworkers.
That's the best plan. Yeah.
And to instill that trust and form that bond with them right now, it's awesome. You can't do anything better than that, I don't think.
If you think about it, if you have someone who is a cadet with us, and they're maybe 14, 15, or 16, and they've stayed in the post for anywhere between like 3 or 4 or 5 years, we basically go through the BOF principles and tactics and training with them every year. So it's like when they graduate from here and they start an academy with another department, they've been doing a BOF for 3, 4, or 5 years. They're pretty proficient in their skills. I'm not saying they're amazing or they're master of them, because you always can get better, but they're way ahead of the curve even in some of the recruits in our academy class, So that's genuinely our goal. Is any of our cadets, we should streamline and hire them, because we do all the things that we do on our job, and they're familiar with our hose loads and our tactics and the things that we train and we do.
Yeah, with like the recruitment problems nationwide, I do think the future is bright coming down here and watching other kids, but I really think it's critical to take from our own pool that we have, because we're watching them, again, like you said, we're teaching them the native way to do things. They can easily step in. I think we have at least 5 right now you can plug on my company, and I will go fight a fire with them right now. I'll go on any call with them right now. Full trust, everything. And you can tell the difference between someone from another shift and then a cadet, one of these couple that we have, I think, yeah.
And I think a very interesting concept too that I actually just learned this weekend is they're transitioning from different leadership roles and different points of influence from their own life. So one of our cadets is a lieutenant here on the post, but just finished an academy. I think it's with Glenside and Warrenville.
Austin.
Yeah, Austin. So when you're in an academy, you're kind of told to, be quiet, shut up, like take the instruction, which is important. But then when he comes here to the post, he's a lieutenant and he knows what he's doing, and he's got to be vocal to give direction to the rest of his crew. So I think that's an interesting situation that he's put in, where he goes from taking direction from an academy instructor and from a career-long instructor from the academy, and to, holy cow, now all these cadets are looking at him and saying, "What do you want, Lou?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta switch this up.
Switch roles, yeah.
Do this. Let's roll." So that's another interesting perspective that kind of our cadets transition to.
Yeah, and I want to brag on our cadets, especially our graduated ones. Like on the previous episode, we had Paul Siebert down in Memphis.
Legend.
His roommate Patrick Herr was our post captain, and they graduated, went down there, and I get texts from them all the time. "Oh, I'm so glad I went through the cadet program because we're the best in our academy." I get texts and emails from people across the country, out in Colorado and then in Kentucky and Florida, saying, "Oh, I'm so glad I went through your program because I'm the best in my academy. It's so easy. I already know how to do everything." So if you're on the fence, do I go in a cadet program? Do I not? Yes. I'm not saying necessarily I got to come to ours. There's plenty of good programs out there, but I think being a part of an Explorer post or a cadet program only will set you up for success, because at least you'll have some experience going into a fire academy. But as far as going, like Austin's spot, going in academy and being in our program, Aiden was also that.
Correct.
So taking that knowledge that you learn in your BOF academy, coming back, passing it on to the younger generation of the cadets, they both have done that.
Correct.
So I think that's awesome. That just speaks mountains about them.
Yep.
That they're able to take the information, what they learned, pass it on, and just helps them in their career.
And they're setting an example. I mean, Patrick and Paul are at Memphis, so all the cadets here who don't have full-time jobs are like, "Oh my gosh, those are our peers. Like, those guys were here a couple of years ago." And then now they see some of their peers are like, "Oh, Austin got hired at Glenside and Warrenville. Aiden's with Batavia. They just went through an academy." And these cadets are like, "That's what I want to be." Like, and it's their peers. It's a guy a couple years older than them. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then we got a shout out to Nick Lemp too, from Addison down in Memphis as well.
Yep.
He's a stud. Coming back here, passing on knowledge not only that he's learned through Addison's program, but then through Memphis and his real life experience, coming back here, helping his program in Addison. I think that is awesome too.
Yep,
And
totally agree.
talking, I learned from him, so just sitting and talking with him. So I'm really grateful that he came up for this weekend.
Yep, totally agree. I agree with you.
So just to wrap up a little bit, we're going to end on a sad note. So this is mine and Danny's last time coming up here, down here to IFSI. We're going to be handing the reins to this program over to somebody. We're not sure yet. I will probably stick with it to mentor the new leader probably the next 10 to 12 months to make sure this program is successful. I think we need these programs. I'm a huge supporter of Explorer and cadet programs. The fire service, I don't think could function as well as it does without them, especially with a lot of departments getting rid of part-time programs. We do not have a part-time program in Naperville. So they have the cadet program and they have our administration support this cadet program. I don't think the fire service would continue without them. So I will help mentor the next leader of this program, but this is our last hurrah.
Correct.
I'm glad we won the water ball championship.
Well, it's kind of crazy. We're going out on top. State champs. I feel like we won the national title. We're just
yeah. So it is sad, and I look back and I'm glad I'm kind of ending, and I still enjoy it. I'm not like a crabby curmudgeon.
You're not too salty yet. You're not a salty dog.
So I still love it. I still have a passion for the cadets. It's just my time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stay on and mentor the next leader. But
did we talk about potentially getting some root beer in here and drinking from this, or is this?
Yeah, I think this is probably better than the Stanley Cup, honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Probably gonna taste better too. You get you a little iron in the system.
So hopefully the next leader will continue these videocasts, pass on information, and do some interviews. And then we got other training videos on our YouTube channel. Please check them out. Until next time, I'm Advisor Chris Garon.
I'm Advisor Puknaitis.
And thanks again, Lieutenant Steve Bourne, for sponsoring our lunch for our sleepy ride home. I think he's driving because I'm going to take a nap. And thanks again.